So, hello again. Welcome to the first Super Saturday of 2017. We are online today. Hopefully everybody is staying warm. We're going to have a little bit shorter of a Super Saturday than we would if we had gotten together in person, but we are not skipping the good content. We have Jamie here from Georgia. She's going to speak to us, and I'm so excited to hear what she has to say. And like I just said, I watched the video last night just to make sure it worked. I've had technical problems in the past, and so I always try to make sure that I've gone through everything so I have less surprises. And it's amazing. So I am going to share my screen. Come here, I think. So the first thing that I wanted to do was kind of, let's see this. Slide from start. Is that going to do it? No. Okay. So we'll look at it this way. Laptop's going crazy. There we go. So welcome to Super Saturday again. This is where we get together and we go over what Beachbody has for us for the year. Obviously, Beachbody's core purpose is to help people achieve their goals and enjoy a healthy, fulfilling life. And I'm very excited about that. I love that. It takes the pressure off of me because I'm just helping them. So the next thing that Beachbody was wanting us to really focus on is the power of a story. And there's a couple of slides here that are examples of people who got results with one or more rounds of our programs. And at the top is a little snippet from the coach who guided them. As Team Beachbody coaches, we give customers and challengers the guidance to reach their goals that they couldn't do on their own. So I loved this story. Her transformation, and I say it every Super Saturday, and I will never stop saying it because I always see it pop up into my news feed, and people are like, oh, well, if you add a light, and if you get one of these little ring lights, and then if you put your hair up or put on makeup, you can have a transformation too. You can't fake that transformation. Like, you can't suck in your hips like that. It just doesn't work. And so that's what I love about what our company is doing. Like, we're changing people's lives. You can't fake 65 pounds gone in 11 months. So, and then this guy, I loved his transformation as well. And the coach talks about, not only is he in the best shape of his life, but he's the happiest he's ever been and able to live his life to the fullest with his son. And I absolutely love this. I think our transformations are incredibly powerful, and learning people's stories, even if they're not necessarily your challengers. The Team Beachbody website is full of stories, and having those in our pockets to share with our customers is so important. To be able to say, I don't have high blood pressure, but this is my friend Rhonda, and she has lost 20 pounds and came off of her blood pressure medicine. Or this is Kurt, and he did the same thing. And with those examples, we can really help our customers and our challengers get everything they want out of their program. I am going to post in the group, in our Eastern North Carolina group. If you're not in that group, let me know. Send me a message, Cassie Hamilton, and I can add you. I got rid of the kids, but I didn't get rid of the cats jumping in my lap. But if you're not in the group and you would like to be, message me, or your upline coach, if she's in the group, she can add you. I'm going to be uploading the elite and premier lists so you can see that and see other people in your uplines team or in your Beachbody family, so you can see those lists. I would have had them printed out if we had been there in person. So next up is our top 10. These are coaches 2 through 10. It's an amazing group of coaches. And actually, number 6, Jamie, we get to hear from him in the video. And he's got an amazing story. It's very powerful. So these top 10 coaches are going to be traveling to Italy this year on their trip, and you can listen to them on the national wake-up calls in late January through February to help you grow your business. So that's another thing I love about our company is there's really no secrets. People are like, oh, this is what I did. And it got me to number 1 in the company or number 2 in the company, or it helped me leave my corporate job. It's just a big family, and I love that. And so we're going to have the opportunity to listen to all of these people speak in the next coming weeks on the National Wake Up Call. So if you can't make it on the actual call, make sure you have it on the podcast on your phone. So, and for the 3rd year in a row, Melanie Mitro is the top coach in Team Beachbody. She is the leader of the Dream Team, and it's her 3rd year. We can hear her on Monday's Wake Up Call, January 9th. And in the coach online office, you can go to Summit 2016 and listen to her speak about being extraordinary. So there's that. Now we're going to get into, I'm going to close this out. We're going to get into, stop share. Okay, sorry. We're going to get into the training portion of our day. I'm going to find Jamie on here and unmute her, and she's going to speak to us. Jamie has been a coach for almost 5 years. She is a 2-time elite coach. She's an 8-star diamond and a Success Club All-Star and Legend, a PIO instructor, a group exercise certified and instructor. She's a mom to 2 young kids, which always inspires me. And Beachbody helped her retire from her corporate job. So thank you so much for joining us, Jamie.
Thank you. So thank you for having me. And sorry, I'm losing my voice this morning. I think this cold is messing me up, but I actually really, really like this idea of a virtual Super Saturday. And of course, anytime I do a Zoom, my cat immediately thinks he needs to be in it. So you're going to see a tail the entire time probably. All right, so I am going to share my screen in just a second, and just going to warn you guys now, sometimes when I get excited, I talk really fast. So take lots of notes, because at the end, I would love to do any questions you guys have. I tried to compile my best business tips that really changed my business over the last 4 years, because I'll tell you, I've been a coach for 5, but I was awful my first year. So from the last 4, I did stuff right. And that's what I really tried to compile for you guys. So take notes. Cassie, if at any point I'm just flying too fast, tell me to slow down. I just know that, like myself, I had my kids go off to the jump park, and I know everyone's probably dealing with stuff like that. So I don't want to take too much time, and I'm so excited to see the announcements. Again, see, told you Blacktail. I'm going to see it a lot. All right, so I am going to share my screen. And Cassie, in just a second, will you tell me is that full screen now? Yes, okay. And I'm going to hide us on the side. Or Cassie, if you could hide us on the side, because I cannot see this now. Do you guys see at the very top, do you see where it says like stop, share, remote control, anything like that, or just my screen? Just the screen?
I'm only seeing your screen.
Okay, good, because I see a lot of other stuff popping up and I can't make it go away for some reason. I think because it's your call. All right, so I'm just going to get going then. So the biggest thing I wanted to talk about today is the change in the mindset of, are you a business owner or are you an employee? And this might be something you guys have seen in personal development books before. And I saw it in one I was reading the other day again in Girl Boss, because I've read that a couple times over. And after Katie and you and Cassie had asked me to do this speech, I saw this line in there and I just went, that's exactly what shifted for me. So that's really what I wanted to focus on today. So at the start of this, right now, wherever you are, if you have a sheet of paper, be totally honest, and I'm not going to make you share it with us, but I want you to be totally honest with yourself and write down, are you a business owner, yes or no? Or in the past year, have you been acting like an employee of Beachbody? Because when you have this mindset shift, that is when your business is become so much more fun. And sorry guys, I'm gonna lock this cat out real quick. All right. One big distraction gone. Okay. So this is, and the reason I'm showing you this big slide is because from minute one, I want to show you my branding. And I'm hoping as we go through this, by the end of this, you'll get a sense of who I am, my style as a coach. Because my goal for you guys is going forward for you guys to have your own style. So when people see your social media come through or anything like that, they immediately go, oh, that's Cassie or that's Katie Green, because that's her style. She's a business. She's not just another person selling a product on Facebook. So yes, 2-time elite coach, 8-star diamond has been my top rank, 6-figure earner, but also massive, massive failure in my own mind my first year and a half in this business. And I think we hear stories all the time of people who hit diamond and go 5-star in 1 year or 2 years and these crazy stories. But what I really like people to know is that I only signed 2 coaches my first year, my husband and my best friend. That was it. I did not sign my 3rd coach and my first working coach until 17 months into the business. I did not hit diamond until 20 months in the business. But from that point forward, when I signed my first working coach, I was finally accountable to someone else for my business activities. So from that point, when I hit diamond in November to the following November, I went from diamond to 5-star. And that's really my mindset shift. And I changed from my employee mindset to I'm a business owner and I'm a leader. And I have a team that now is counting on me to create systems, things I've never done for myself. So I really learned this business alongside my first coach. She was the one who told me about national wake-up calls. I'd never listened to one. I'd never been to a Super Saturday. I didn't go to a summit until I was a 1-star diamond. I had no idea. I really was not plugged in. So I'm going to give you guys a lot of stuff that I did wrong and I did right. So I want you guys to think as I go, is that something I'm doing? Or, do I see myself as her before her shift or after? So things I did right the first year. I was totally a product of the product. I was obsessed with our products. So much so that I think that's all I could talk about on my social media. I invited people to come work out with me on Saturdays at my house. I was all about the fitness because it changed my life. You guys can see my transformation. I just went all in with the products. I tried to do everything right, but I just felt like for the first time in my life, this was happening so easily when I'd had to starve myself before this for my wedding. I shared all of this on social media, a ton, like literally 5 times a day. I was all sales posts. And I was new to Facebook too. So I had no idea really how to post as a normal person. And I was so excited about these products. I think I just kept thinking, if I share it over and over and share this sale, people just want to buy it because I love it so much. But I never told them why they should love it. I never told them stories behind it. I did tell my friends and family what I was doing, but again, only by email or Facebook. I never talked about it in person because that was too scary. And it's super easy to just write something in an email and click send. All right, now we have a much longer list about things I did wrong my first year. Like I already mentioned, I sold on social media constantly and thought the products would speak for themselves. This is one thing I learned from a national wake-up call. The terminology we use as coaches, average people who are not Beachbody coaches have no idea what we're talking about. So we need to bring it down a level and explain what we're talking about. When we say, join my challenge group, they're like, I have no idea what that is. And I would have people say to me all the time, well, I don't live near you. And I'm like, wow, I'm really not explaining what I do. I only posted on social media. I never personally invited. I can't think of a single personal invite I sent out except for that initial email to tell everybody what I was doing. I was an undercover coach in the real world. When people would bring up that I was a coach, I would get super embarrassed because I thought maybe they were judging me. And I was a wine rep for 12 years. I was a wine rep at this point that I was doing everything wrong. And I thought they were looking at me like a joke, which they weren't. That's just the story I told myself. I never offered the coach discount or talked about it, period. My coach is, if you guys know Christina Delgado, she's amazing. She gets so mad at me because I would tell her, well, I'm not giving up my commission, because if I switch into coach, I'm giving up my commission. She'd be like, oh my God. But in my mind, I said, people will completely understand that they can do this too from seeing me do it on Facebook, and they're going to see how much I love it. And if they want to do it, they'll just come to me. So I never brought it up, never offered that discount. So yes, I did. I think I made like $4,000 my first year, all retail commission, again, because didn't switch anybody to coach. But I wasn't building a team, and I didn't have long-term customers because I wasn't teaching them why they should be drinking Shakeology. I was just, come on, next person. All I was focused on was the money and the sales. I was super inconsistent with posting, either post 5 times per day or not for a week. And if someone did message me, I had no follow-up system. I didn't keep records. Maybe I'd write it down in a notebook somewhere. But now I have my entire, my Google Drive spreadsheet that I just pull up every day, and I see, who am I following up with today? When did they tell me to follow up? All that stuff, no systems. I had no organization, no plan, nothing to pass on to my coaches, nothing. So within that first year and a half of coaching, when I signed Emily Hawkins, she's now my business partner still to this day, I just went, gosh, I don't have anything to teach her because I haven't retained anything. I just thought I could completely do it on my own. I didn't plug into Dieselmation team calls. I didn't go to Super Saturdays. I had nothing to pass on. What did I have? I hadn't been successful. How would I teach her? And it was a panic moment. And I really had the employee mindset. I remember having challenge groups with Christina, and she would post every single morning. I signed with her when she was maybe new diamond. So we were new coaches together, and she would post every single morning. And in my mind, I remember thinking, well, she should post every morning because she's the boss, and she would get mad at us and say, why is no one else commenting in these challenge groups or posting? And I'm like, well, you can do it. You're the boss, And that's an employee mindset. Someone else can do it. Someone else can handle it. Someone else can run the challenge group. Like I already said, I never listened to the national wake-up calls or interacted with my Dieselmation upline. They were in Miami, and I told myself again the story that I'm in Savannah and they don't even know that I'm here, blah, blah, blah. I really thought that I could do this on my own and that I could figure it out on my own, because that's always been my mindset. And this is not a business to do on your own. And it's not fun on your own. I only spoke product. I never spoke about me, my story, or the heart of this business, which really, if you see, say, someone's lashes come through on Facebook, a picture of lashes, are you going to stop and read the post? Probably not. But if they have something that grabs your attention, like lashes changed my life, just read. Or something to grab your attention and read. Why are they passionate about this? What has it actually changed in their heart and their family? Things like that. And now I'm going to get into something big, that I feel like it's almost that cliche thing of what's your why? And I had 0 why, and I had 0 vision besides money. Now what changed? Because this is the big one. You can say, oh, you found your why, but I didn't. I still just wanted money. I really needed money because I was living paycheck to paycheck. And my son at this point, I guess maybe a year and a half years old, I'd been in the business for 8 months, whatever it was at this point. And for the first time in my life, when I made this extra Beachbody money, I was putting money into savings. I wasn't struggling. I could get pedicures again, but that really still wasn't a big enough why for me to take the time that it takes to actually make this a business. So 1 year in, my husband came to me and he was just done with it. He's like, you're on the phone all the time. You're complaining. You just told me that you made $30 this month. So I sold 1 bag of shakes. 1. That's how many retaining customers I had. No idea how to find new ones. And he said, why don't you just quit? And I really got so upset because for the first time when somebody presented that maybe I should leave this and take this away from me, that's when I got serious of like, wow, I didn't figure this out. And I love it so much. And this whole first year has been about my transformation. And I'm so excited that I'm in the best shape of my life, but I haven't effectively, I didn't make it. And that was really tough because in the wine world, I was always top sales, top everything. And to be a failure and face that, that was really, really tough. And I said to him, I don't even know who I am without Beachbody because I'm so passionate about the products. It's not that I'm passionate about my challengers because I didn't have any. It's not that I'm passionate about my coaches, didn't have any of those, but I just really loved the products. And so that night we drank a bunch of wine and we discovered my vision. And that's what I realized. I'm a business person, a finance major, small business major at college, and I love business. And that entire first year, I was an employee of Beachbody. I was posting their sales. I was acting as a rep for Beachbody because that's what I'd always known. I'd been a rep for wineries. I just repped their products. It's not my brand. So that night we came up with the idea of the fitness foodie. And I made my Beachbody, my business page, and started, we wrote down the three things we wanted it to be about, because I was eating out all the time for work and I could show people that you could still be a foodie and be healthy. And I got so excited. And that's what started waking me up at 5 a.m. to start making visuals, making social media content that I could auto schedule throughout the week. That's when I discovered my vision. And I got so excited about this business. So I know we say the why, but it doesn't matter what comes first, your why or your vision. You have to have both. Because if you have a why without a vision, it's not going to go anywhere. Because it's like having a why without a plan and without executing. You're just really passionate about making this work. How are you going to do it? And your vision, I still, the last, 3 nights, I've been up from 3 to 5 in the morning because I woke up with these ideas for the website we're developing. And I just had to make this screenshot to send the guy because I'm so excited because it's my brand and it's me. And it's not Beachbody, it's Jamie O'Rear. It's the fitness foodie. It's all these things I have to say besides how much we love the 21-day fix. There's so much more to me and there's so much more to you guys. There's so much more that makes up what you're passionate about, whether it's home decor, it's DIY stuff, it's, whatever it is, that's you. And that's stuff you can share out there and start branding yourself. So you'll see, I put on the slide, 6 months later, I found my why because I did get pregnant again. And for the first time ever in my mind, I'd had a working coach. Now we started to create a team and I was seeing this residual income come in. I realized this could actually be a career and this could be my way out because I completely missed my son growing up. Being in the wine business, you take orders all day and then you're supposed to be out all night selling the actual wine. And I couldn't do my job successfully because I wanted to be home with my kid after 5. And then when I was with him, I had calls coming in the whole time. And I just went, I cannot have this anxiety anymore. I have to live life on my own terms. So I called Christina. Remember driving downtown that day and I said, okay, I'm ready to learn this business finally. And I'm ready to listen and be teachable. And from that day forward, I just dove right in with the Super Saturdays. Every time I was in the call, I was pulling up past wake-up calls and listening to, oh my gosh, I learned this business from past wake-up calls. Still to this day, the minute the kids fall asleep on a road trip, I immediately hit play on Christine Dwyer's old ones. Whatever it is, there's such great content. I remember Amber Snow, Janelle Summers, and who was it? Allie Upham, who has one talking in snippets. I think it's probably from 3 years ago. That taught me how to speak to people. Because before I was sending these long emails. Amber taught me how to dumb it down and not talk in Beachbody language. All these different people, the systems. There was one, and I'm not sure the girl's name, but she laid out every month she does a Coach Expo. Then on the second Monday, she does her free clean eating. Third Monday, challenge groups. Fourth Monday, coach training. When I started to get this and see that I'm a math person, I'm a finance person, I like systems, that if I could make a system, it would be duplicatable. And even though I was still working full time, pregnant, 2-year-old kid, I could do this so much easier than trying to recreate the wheel on my own. Let's just create systems. All right, so I cannot see the top of my slide, so I'm hoping I can remember what that says. I use this analogy a lot because around the time I started with Beachbody, I wanted to open a bagel shop. And I brought this analogy back when I was trying to, when I launched Fitness Foodie and I'm trying to change the way I was doing things. And I kept asking myself, what would I do if I owned a bagel shop? Would I post all day on Facebook and Instagram? Absolutely not. There are so many other avenues to tell people that I now have a bagel shop and I want them to come in and try my bagels. You know, it's like, how would you do it? How are you going to find lifelong customers? And I remember in college, and I took this course, and they always said, how are you going to create raving fans? Because people who are dissatisfied are going to tell so many people, but a raving fan for us is a potential coach and a referral system. Maybe like, you find a raving fan, they're going to tell so many people about how amazing this service you have is, and how amazing you are, and how much you care about your customers. So that was a huge mindset shift, that we're not just selling a challenge pack. We're creating lifelong customers, raving fans. And recently I read in a book, and I loved this because I think I did it. No, I'm not in the beginning, maybe in the middle. In the beginning, I think I was signing coaches, and they just were coming to me because they saw what I was about. I was really living my brand, and they were so similar to me. They were my avatar. But I think I lost that about my second year going for elite, because it was just numbers and numbers. And I self-corrected that. But I now, when I sign coaches and when I'm looking at, challengers and would they maybe make a great coach, I look at them and I see, are they the type of person who would have, it's a not my job mentality, or let's do whatever it takes to succeed? Because Emily Hawkins, who I created my team with, has the let's do whatever it takes to succeed. And she still instills that in me sometimes when I'm getting lazy and distracted. And she says, oh yeah, I did 3 Zooms this week with random people in your downline that don't even affect her, because we're here for the whole. And that's who you want. And when you see those people out there who are cheering other challengers on in your challenge groups, not because they have to, because they're doing whatever it takes for everybody to succeed, because they're there for everybody, for nothing that benefits them. That's who you want. So you need to ask yourself right now, in the past year, in the past month, has there been times that you had the it's not my job mentality, like I had my first year? And what culture are you creating on your team? And that was a hard one for me, because I knew I didn't have that mentality. You could have asked me any point in the last 3 years, because I was doing whatever it took to make this work. But was I creating that culture on my team because I was enabling them for a long time? Because I will create this script for you. I will create this system for you. Do not branch off and do your own Coach Expo, because I got this. I want to do your coach training. I want to do everything. And this past year, I really shifted. And now we do a team Coach Expo, and everybody takes one thing, and we only do that once a quarter so that they can go fly the nest the other, 3, 4 months, weeks, whatever they want to do, their own Coach Expos. I created a coach training. Now you go implement it, or take it, and take the parts you want from it. You guys hold your own challenge groups. No longer am I going to host a team challenge group for you. I want everyone to be only teaming up with 1 or 2 other coaches, or just your own, and do your own challenge group, because you need to own this. These are your challengers, not mine. So I wanted to write down a bunch of things that, so once I became pregnant, you guys know I had my why there, and this is not to overwhelm you whatsoever. I mapped out a 9-month, or I guess 7-month map, because I was 2 months pregnant when I decided on this. And each month I knocked out one big thing. So I tried to put a bunch of these on here, but don't think today you have to go out, if you're not doing some of these things, and do them all in one day, because it took me 7 months to do all this stuff. So immediately I started hosting. I found a recreation center, and I'm like, instead of just inviting people over on Saturdays to work out with me and annoy my family that all these people are traipsing through the living room, I found this community center, and we started a fit club. And I think it was like we rotate between Wednesdays and Saturdays. I advertised it on meetups. I have highly encouraged, I have not done this, but many of my coaches go to the MOPS group here on Wilmington Island, and that's the reason I haven't, because I want it to be their place. But, free groups on Facebook, all this stuff. There's so many cool ways to meet people. So what I started in the 2nd month of pregnancy was a free group called Clean Pregos, because I asked myself, the last time I was pregnant, what would I have wanted? And I thought to myself, how could I create a really great network of all the people that are my target market, but I'm not trying to sell anything to them? And I would have loved a clean pregnancy fitness group. We're just there to support each other. And that group really changed my business because it gave me a way to invite other people going through the same thing as me. And we just talked, and sometimes we complained, and then we encouraged each other to eat healthy and find healthy recipes we could still eat depending on each person's pregnancy diet, things they couldn't have, and at the end of all that, as these people graduated, or we called it graduated, but had the baby, most of them came to me to help them get back in shape. Many of them became coaches. We actually keep it open now for our team, and we have a lactation consultant in there. So now once they have the babies, they can ask, questions like, is this normal? I'm having trouble breastfeeding. So whatever it is that really drives you, that you're really interested in, start a free group. I started a group called Savannah Mamas once I wasn't pregnant anymore. And I think I have 250 women in there now, and people ask every day to get in this group. And again, it's just like we schedule play dates. I've met friends in this group. We tell people activities going on, but it's a way to broaden your network without having to feel like you're always cold calling people and things like that. It just feels much more organic to me. I hosted a Super Saturday. I think I was about 4 months pregnant at this point, never even been to one. And I hosted one. That was scary, but exciting because I'd seen these big ones down in Diesel Nation. And I can't do that, but I'm going to try. And at least I'm doing it and I'm getting my team together. But what I did constantly every week with my little core group here in town, we did a team lunch every week. I did coffee at least once or twice with coaches every week. Still to this day, on Wednesdays, my little group, we meet at a coffee shop and just straight work for 4 hours together, or 3 hours for them, 4 hours for me, because I have an extra hour. But things like that, like I was in front of them and I was so excited that they could feel it because I'd come to them straight from listening. I remember one wake up call and I was like, this is what we have to do. So they could feel it. And the momentum and excitement on our team and the culture was just of excitement because they knew we were trying to do something big and we were all working together. A big one for me was I wanted to start a newsletter because, again, I asked myself, when I post on Facebook, maybe if I'm lucky, 2 of those people that I really wanted to see my post saw it. How can I get more of those people to see it? So it was daunting at first because I'd waited so long, but I took every single customer from my back office and my husband's account, and I put them all into this MailChimp newsletter service. And I still to this day send out stuff, maybe sometimes months, one time. This month it was 3 times because all access. I started a blog first, and then I created my website, and my website's in transition right now. So if you go to it, it's kind of not good right now because we're just holding pattern. But that was a big one for me. I've taken courses on SEO. I didn't just start a website. I learned this. I took a 9-hour course with this guy on SEO, but things I could have probably watched on YouTube. Because to me, my business brain goes, oh, Lord, I need to understand SEO because when we go international, that is going to be our leg up on other people. And you guys might go, what is SEO? But it's basically how someone finds your website. So your tags. I created monthly systems, like I said. Whether there was one person in that sneak peek or 1 million, we did it every single month. We did free groups every month. We ran them in 7 days. We did challenge groups every single month, and our coach training started every single month. And now I actually have a 7-day self-paced coach training. So we do it a little different, but so that we can start people every day in the coach training. And if any of you guys want to see that after this, I'd be happy to share. When you see here, I created a social media post guide. This is not the main aspect of this post I want you guys to see, but what I did was, when I saw a problem or I saw something my coaches were running into, I tried to find a system for it. So when you guys see your coaches running into the same questions over and over, what do I post today? What do I do for this? Give them the resources and have it in a document so you don't have to recreate this stuff all the time. Now I have my social media post guide, and it's probably changed a little bit since then. But I can give them this grid and say, Monday mornings, you're posting something about your weekend. Tuesday mornings, your Shakeology. Monday at noon, whatever. So they can look at this. And my most successful coach follows this to this day. bar none, she follows it. And she's my most successful coach. And she's like, I just do what you say. And I'm like, well, I should do what I say, because I think I come up with these systems and I don't always follow them perfectly, but I see the people who it's working for. And she's like, I just did what you told me to do. So I want you guys to think outside the box. Whatever it is, like if you have some crazy idea, some networking group, I try everything once. This past year, I did BNI, and you're going, what is that? It's a business networking group, and it's for business professionals in the community. I tried that for a year, and I got a ton of great business out of that. I decided 1 year was enough, and I want to do other things this year, but maybe it's a different training. Like I have invested a lot back into my business from day one. Even when I wasn't making much, I advertised on Facebook. I've done the Jesse Reagan ads training, which I'm still trying to grasp, but I think it's amazing. YouTube training videos, there are so many great ones. Last night alone, I just Googled top hashtags for fitness. And this guy had literally a section of hashtags for Instagram on every single different type of fitness. I'm like, oh, okay, so maybe this is how I can help my Instagram. Whatever it is, don't rely on someone else to find it for you. Find it and then share it. Okay, so now I'm going into brand yourself, because you can do all these other things, but if you don't have your brand, people aren't going to start to see you as a professional. They're going to see you as another person on Facebook. White noise. So I did this business course about a year ago with an actual business coach for normal businesses. And I was like, I want to do this because I want to see what you would be asking someone who's not Facebook centric. And she said the first thing she asks, and this is what I ask my new coaches now who are trying to figure out what their brand is going to be, is what would your word be? Like if you looked at your business right now, your team, what you want for your challengers, what would your word be? And for me, mine was change, because I wanted to change their mindset. I wanted to change their attitude. I wanted them to change the way they felt about themselves. I want my coaches' financial situations to change, their self-worth. That was my word, was change. And when I understood that, I could create my branding so much better. So if you want, see if you guys can take a screenshot of this, and I can share this presentation later too, but I want to give you guys a second, because these might be things you want to go back later. Once you've started, or look at your Facebook page right now. Once you figured out your word, go to your Facebook page later and say, basically, do you see that word anywhere on your page? Like, is your page reflecting what you want your word to reflect? Is your marketing message consistent? And when I was asking myself that and looking back, I was like, wow, it's not. I talk about wine way too much. I'm talking about like trying to be funny, which is fun because we're trying to attraction marketing, getting a following, but I'm not stressing my word enough. So, that's a really big one for you guys to self-check yourself. Self-check yourself. That makes sense. But on your social media and what you're doing. And are you branding all of your social media posts, or are they consistent, at least with colors, the style of them, and across platforms, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever you're doing. So I thought I'd just bring a couple of the things I've done just to show you. Hopefully you guys can see, as soon as you look at this, you see my brand, because at least I do. Like I use pink. I use the same pink all the time. I use a lot of the same fonts. You see the change your mindset, change your habits, change your life. That was my cover photo for a long time. Just you see my Wildfire Empire. That's my little logo. I stick on everything. But I hope what you get from this is it looks, at least to me, it looks consistent and cohesive. So when I have my stuff come through, and I don't always have my @ symbol on there where they can find me, I should have my website on this stuff more, but I just want them to see this is my style, and they know my style when it comes through. All right, so I want you guys to take a screenshot of this and create your own. So we're done with branding, and the last thing I'm really going to give you, because I wanted to give you guys some really tangible stuff for what to do weekly. So I had so many coaches in my downline coming to me and saying, I want to go part-time within a year. I want to make this my full-time job. And I didn't think they really understood what it took to do that. So I decided to come up with, we came up with this group called Lifers. So I could have all these people, because many were not my personal coaches, and I could have them in one place. And the people who are in there are pushing very hard to become full-time. So it kind of gives them their own place for those diehards, because we don't want anybody in our regular team page to feel like they're not doing enough if somebody else is running at a faster pace. So I really felt like I wanted a group for just my people running at this pace. And they really pushed each other. We've had success partners come out of there. And I was able to give them this list, which they have to check off in a box every single week, that they did each thing, that this is what it actually takes. This is what it takes. So, there's some weird things here, like message all birthdays privately. Little things like this is how we tweak. We don't post on their page. We message privately because we're having personal relationships. We're not just doing, the generic. So take a screenshot, like I said, and, make this into your own template, whether it's invite 15 people to a challenge group, you want to say invite 5 people a week, whatever it is for you that you're comfortable with. I print this off because I have it in like a sheet paper size each week, and I just put my little check marks once I've done it. That works for me. I like having my check mark. I like being able to cross off stuff. And then I throw it away at the end of the week and, you start fresh. Do I always get to my 15 invites or my 20 new friends? No, but I try. I try really hard, whether through, running an ad to find new people or, adding to my Facebook page, whatever it may be. I'm trying. And at least that's the main thing, is that I have a clear list, and that keeps me focused and not scrolling Facebook, because I know I have to get this stuff done before I can go work on my website, before I can go do this, before whatever it is. I know these are my core activities, and this is what I have to check off or have auto scheduled, and I think number 10, if you guys see, tell your story once per week. That's a big one, because when I came up with this list, I went, wow, I don't even think that's something I should be doing every week, and I'm not. But if I have that on my to-do list, a different part of my story, and I write down normally each week, like I'm going to do it Sunday night, or I'm going to do it maybe Tuesday afternoon, whatever it is, I have it. I know when it's coming. So I start all week, I'm thinking, what aspect do I want to talk about this week? So last thing, again, take a screenshot if you guys can. I threw out a lot of websites, things like this. So I wanted to show you guys resources that I do use. MailChimp.com, I absolutely love this. That's your newsletter service. I have a list in there for just my coaches, so I can send all my coaches emails. Pictures and branding, Canva, that's what I use, because you can create a whole brand kit in there. They have suggestions that you can come up with your own colors, and it will save all your colors right there, your fonts, your logos. You can make your transparent watermark in there. So I absolutely love Canva. PicMonkey is great too if you're doing a cutout, but I don't do those as much anymore because it just takes a lot of time that I feel like I could be doing for other things. Blog sites that are free. There's Blogger, Blogspot, and I started my very first website for free on WordPress, and it was a learning curve. So right now, I think I do believe that it's very important to have a blog, like say All Access came out, and I still haven't finished that one. So if you find it on my site, it doesn't look so good. But I did one for Core to Force, and I had an application in there, and it was so easy to run an ad and promote that on Facebook because I just kept posting my blog to it. And instead of all these questions to answer, people could really look through the whole blog and find so much information, before and after pictures I made. And that's so easy. And once you get it, you can just do it for every program. I learned that from Melanie Mitro at the NLC that I went to a couple years ago. And I love that she said, that's it. Every single month, it's, she writes her blog. She writes, she comes up with her theme for that month for her challenge group, and she writes a blog for her Coach Expo each month. So I love that. So I got that in my brain and to start doing. And it's just another fun thing to be able to have for you. So National Wake Up Calls, those are great resources. You can go into back office, and there's literally, they're there through the end of time since they started them. YouTube is amazing. There's so much great material on there. And then Google Drive. And I put that on here, and you might go, what? How's that a resource? But that has really changed my business because I can share it at a moment's notice. I can take someone else's, they have a great material, save it into mine, share it with my team. And that's where I keep I have one spreadsheet, and it has lots of sheets within the one spreadsheet. So I'm not opening lots of them. And that's my monthly stuff. So every day I go in there and I see who has orders that I'm following up with today. Where's my follow-up list? Where's my top 10 list when I was tracking for our team? Whatever it is that pertains to my business, every single week, every month, I go in and I have one sheet just for that. So I am going to stop sharing, which I can't figure out how to. Oh, here we go. And I know I gave you guys a lot of information because I was trying to cram a lot in there. So if you guys have any questions, advice from me, things that worked, haven't worked, things you guys could do different, or just anything, either in here or the event page after, I'd be happy to answer. How do you schedule your posts? I use Cinch Share, C-I-N-C-H, and then share. And then on my business page, you can do it right from there. Sorry, I'm going to pull this up. So I do Cinch Share for that. Coach Expo. Sorry, I know that throws people off. It's the same as a sneak peek. I just call it something different because I never want to have the same word as anyone else. But good questions. Yes, Cinch Share is awesome. You can pull up all your favorite groups. You could literally, like, if you had a challenge group and you wanted to auto schedule to, like, say you had 4 running at the same time, you could, auto schedule all, just click, 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 put in there. I did like a fun team cup, fill your cup challenge for our team page. So I had all those auto scheduled through December. Every morning, something fun, like interactive posts to keep them engaged. Do you find it better than Hootsuite? You know what? I used Hootsuite a few years ago and I didn't like it, and it was really frustrating to me. So yes, I do like it a lot better. Lifers Group is not available. It's anyone in my downline. They had to fill out an application to get in there, but it's definitely something. I mean, I gave you the list that they have in there. So it's something, if, start one on your own. Ask everybody in your upline. If you don't have a downline yet, say, who is pushing this hard? Let's create our own Lifers Group. You have this list from me. You mentioned a Facebook ads training. Jesse Reagan, he does, if you look him up online, Jesse Reagan, he does a Facebook ads training. It was, I think it's called, Katie would know if Katie's, I just look up Jesse Reagan and you'll find him. And it was about $300. Is it Team Builders? It's like social something. And I'm drawing a blank, but just look up Jesse Reagan Facebook ads training, and he's on there. And oh yeah, someone else has the website. And I've been told, and I don't know if this is true because I paid, and I do believe in that it's really good information, but someone else told me that you can find that same stuff in free trainings on YouTube. So maybe we should do that research. But it's really great. So I always try to think like a business owner, like how can we target our right market? And what Jesse does is he teaches you how to find the correct audiences. So when you're running an ad, you're not just putting in moms, wine, dogs. You're finding who likes these certain pages, who would like my page. Like these are the type of people that I want to come to my page. So I think big term, like when we go to the UK or when we go to these other countries, if I really truly understand audiences better than I do now, that I can target to specific places and pages that people will say in the UK love this fitness person. I can try to target all my ads to people who like this fitness girl who live in this town in the UK. So that was my, social team builder. There it is. Thank you, Lauren.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, any questions you guys have? Good questions. And really all this was trial and error. I have messed up a lot. And a lot of things haven't worked, but I'm always game to try, because if it doesn't work, I tell my team this doesn't work, or it didn't work for me. That doesn't mean it's not going to work for you. So it's all just putting yourself out there and trying. Oh, Lauren says she's in it right now. She said it's worth it and it's all in one place. Oh yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that training, it's very intense. There's a lot of stuff. I feel like I've been doing it for like 8 months with kids. You're like, okay, snip it here, snip it there. But I have learned so much, and I'm up to 10,000 likes on my page because he taught me how to do the correct type of workout video ad. And I had to try, and you test. And I tested 30 videos before I found the one that resonated with people. Now I have that. So now I have to find the correct audience. So it's like step by step, he teaches you along the way and like what you should be posting each day and in little things like that. So I think it's a really good training. But yeah, so yeah, she says that. But okay, I will stop talking because I know we have so many fun announcements.
Yes. All right. So thank you so much for that. I have like more. I have a lot of notes. I was trying to write super fast. So that was amazing. The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to share my screen again and do the video from corporate. And it's about 37 minutes. And after that, we will close out and hopefully around here we'll see some snow. Because I feel like we should see some snow. Because if we had to cancel everything, I need snow. So let me do this. Share screen. Here.